Yeah, hi there. This is tuxo.com again. Welcome on my video channel. And last night we had Adobe Max, and Adobe surely uses this conference to publish a couple of updates for their photo and video software. In this video, we want to concentrate on Lightroom version 9 and a little bit about Photoshop CC 2020. And just let's jump over to the desktop PC and take a look on the new functions. Okay, we are in the main catalog. And first we want to take a look on the export settings. As you could see here, you have the option to choose more than one export preset. For example, if I want this picture to be exported as a 16-bit TIFF file, then you see here multiple presets selected, one. And now I could choose, let's say, a JPEG full or even other export presets. And I could do exports either with one selected or with a whole bunch of selected images in one step. The only thing is, if I do this here with these two export presets here, go to export, then because I defined those presets to choose a folder or destination folder later on, I would have to choose the destination folder for every preset I use. So if you want to make use of this new feature, maybe if you want to export regularly a TIFF file and a smaller version of a JPEG, then it might be wise to choose the folder here right away for a specific folder, so you don't have to choose for every picture and every export preset the destination folder for the exported images. A couple of versions ago, Lightroom implemented the option to apply color labels to collections and also folders. This time I criticized that this label set is the same I use for labeling my images. So to me that doesn't make much sense. It would be nice if Adobe would have implemented another color set to mark the collections or the folders. But now the new feature is that you click here on the side, and now you can search for color labels, and now you can filter the all collections to a certain defined color label. It would have been nice also if they would mention the color or display the color of the applied color label. Now we let's go with this image. Go over to the development module. If you got a user preset, you could right-click the mouse and export this preset to the hard drive and apply it to another system or give it away or something like that. Now you can do that with the whole group of user presets to export them as a group to the hard drive. But you can only do that with the user presets, not with the built-in presets like here, vignetting or anything like that. Okay, let's go back to the library. Then I have to find the right images, or a good example at least. Maybe we take this one. Adobe implemented a sort of AI content-aware filling, but only in panorama mode. So if I merge those to a panorama, have to wait a little bit for the preview to show up. Now this is sort of the old days that you got here, those blank areas in the panorama. You could try to get rid of those edges with the round warp slider, which actually will stretch the image, but now you can fill the edges. That's a new function, and it will take the pixels from the neighboring areas to fill those missing areas up. Here you see the preview, looks pretty good, so let's merge it to a full-size panorama. Okay, here we got the panorama and it looks pretty good. And since Lightroom generates DNG format, you can now start to process the image. Okay, we switch to another image like this one. What is also new is if you go into the development module again and go to the history, you see here I have quite a bit of processing done on this image. Now you can pick up any history section, and now you can clear the history above the selected step. And of course reset the image processing down to this step you selected. Okay, as you could see, there are not many new functions in Lightroom version 9. Most of the functions are enhancement in details. If you consider the new fill edges function, that's a sort of content-aware filling, what you know probably from Photoshop CC, but it's only available in the panorama functions. That is nice, but I think Lightroom should invest more into AI functions and maybe implement such a function in the transform function. If you tilt or shift a photograph from a building or something similar, you run in the same situation as with the panorama. The other functions like the color labels on collections and on folders are not new. The only enhancement is that you can filter the list, and still it would be nice if first Adobe would display the color of the label beside the filter area, and secondly, that is most important, Adobe should implement a second color label set for the collections and the folders, and keep another label set, as you probably know and use for quite some time, for single photos. Because in your workflow, if you mark an image like red color, blue color or something like that, that surely will have another meaning than if you mark a complete folder with the red or blue color label. Okay, that is Photoshop Lightroom version 9. And now go to the desktop PC and take just a small little look on a new function in Photoshop CC 2020. Okay, now I loaded an image into Photoshop and want to show you my favorite new feature in Photoshop CC 2020, and that's the AI selection tool, which tries to select the main subject in an image. Here with this one, we could first try to just select the image. And as you can see, the selection works pretty good, even though that is almost the same color and tone around this animal. Or just demark that. Or you could take the tool and place a rectangle around the subject you want to select. And here you get the same result. That's a pretty good result for automatically selecting the main subject in this image. The new automatic selection of the main object in a photograph is a pretty neat function which should speed up your workflow. And if you have more than one object in the image, that you help the software a little bit by marking the main object with the red handle is okay to me. Okay, the new features or detail enhancement in Lightroom version 9, don't justify a new major version, at least in my opinion. There's only one really new function, I think, that is the edge fill in Panorama. All other functions are more or less detail enhancement, and that's a problem with the subscription model if you have to implement new functions to keep the customers satisfied. Maybe you place a comment on this video if the new function are enough for a new major version, or if you think that this is a version from Adobe which should carry the version number 9. If you have any questions to this Lightroom or Photoshop, just place them in the comments and I will answer them, or place them in the comments to the corresponding blog post. And surely I would like if you place a like on this video or even subscribe my channel. If you subscribe, just don't forget to activate the notification. And that's all for today, so I have to say till the next time, ciao, Tux Oche.